Hello, hello, everyone. I'm going to wait a bit here while everyone joins. And as I'm waiting here, I'm going to go ahead and pull up emails from questions because you guys know that I get to questions first from people that have submitted them on my Stand store. So if you ever watch my replays, maybe you can't catch my lives, maybe you're shy and want to be anonymous, that's fine. You can submit that on my Stand store, and I always answer the questions the next time that I'm live. So that option is there for you. And some people actually have submitted some, so I will be going over that here shortly. And if anyone is in the chat and you can hear me, let me know that you can hear me. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Perfect. How is everyone doing? I'm going to give it a few minutes because I do have questions that people already submitted so that maybe those people can join us if they are joining us. Some people like to submit questions and then join and not really talk in the chat. So I like to give them a few minutes before I go into paid questions. And then I will be going into questions from you guys. Hi, Black. Hi, Leanna. Hi, Duncan. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes here, and then I'll go into paid questions. Hi, Ted. Where is everyone from? Kind of curious. I'm always interested in who's joining my lives and where you guys are from. What's going on here, Dead King? You're in my chat. You're on my live. I don't know what you're asking. Hi, Sarah. Black, I appreciate the offer, but I don't know you, and I don't actually need a moderator. I can handle it. Canada and Texas. Where in Texas, Duncan? Alabama. I've lived in Alabama a few different times. Phoenix City and Birmingham area. Houston. I know people from Houston, but they moved to South Carolina. I'm just scrolling, so I'm unfamiliar with your content. I'm from Minnesota. Perfect. So Duncan, I am a manifestation, law of assumption, and spiritual coach. I go over topics primarily around manifestation and law of assumption. That's what my chat is about. I appreciate that, Ted. during my lives, I usually wear the ones up here, but in some of my videos, I also wear this one, and then I'll have the upper face kind of showed. I started with this one. I started with covering the bottom part of my face. Well, welcome, Dad King. If you go through my videos on my channel, I kind of explain it a little bit, but I'm more so for those that are familiar with manifestation. But you're still welcome to join us, and you can learn as you're here. So I'm going to go ahead and go into paid questions, guys. And then if you have questions, I'll get to those after I get to the paid questions. So let's go into my first one here, which is from Kate. So Kate says, want to make sure she's not saying anything that she doesn't want me to say. Okay, she says, hi, Alchemistic. I like your work and want to ask a question because it seems that my manifestations are coming true for others, but not for me. So the question is, my colleague has been asked for a teaching position, even though she doesn't even want to finish her dissertation. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not a teacher, but that's okay. This is exactly what I have been manifesting for a while for myself. How should I evaluate this and deal with it? Great question, Kate. So a lot of times when you are trying to manifest something for yourself, so it sounds like you're trying to manifest around career, right? You want a certain position, you want a certain type of job, right? And you're doing whatever technique that you're doing, you're visualizing, you're doing affirmations, you're living in the end, you're just knowing, whatever it is, right? And all of a sudden you start seeing everyone else getting that thing, getting that position, getting that job, right? That could do one of two things for you. And it's dependent on the identity you are identifying as. It could be inspiration and showing you what's possible for you, or what it sounds like is your situation is the other situation. It's, this person is getting what I want, why not me? So you have a choice here. You can use this to motivate you and show you what's possible for you and that yours is coming. Or you can stay in victim mentality and say, everybody else gets what I want. I never get what I want. It's all based on your identity. It's all based on who you're being. Self-concept, right? Self-concept is what manifests your reality, and manifestation is not creating anything because creation is already finished. There already exists a reality where you already have the teaching position of your dreams. Okay, all that you need to do is shift yourself to the identity that already has that position. Okay, so if you are already in that position, if you already were offered this position, maybe multiple employers are blowing up your emails, multiple recruiters are blowing up your LinkedIn, whatever it is, right? With these offers. And now it's like, which one do I choose? How would you be acting? How would you be carrying yourself, right? How would you be carrying yourself through your day? Do that now. And when you see someone else winning and someone else getting what you want, right? Be happy and know that that is just showing you that it's possible for you. That it is just showing you what is coming. Right? The unfolding is happening, and it's happening now. Be happy in that and be joyous in that. I hope I answered that question. If you're in here and I didn't, feel free to ask a little bit further into that. Let me go into the next one here. Okay. So this one is from DH. I successfully manifested my person back, but now they're distant and emotionally unavailable. I did everything right to bring them back. Affirmations, inner work, embodying the version of me in the relationship. But now it feels like I have to manifest their emotional maturity too. How do I shift into a version of them that is actually ready for the connection I want? Great question. So your person can only show up as you perceive them. Let me reiterate that. Your person can only show up as how you perceive them. So right now, you're perceiving them as emotionally unavailable, as immature, right? Shift your focus on that. Forgive them for what they do, for they know not what they do, right? That means you have to realize that the person that is showing up in your relationship is only one version of them. It's one selection, right? One selection out of infinite selections. So how you shift to the reality of a different version of them is by perceiving them differently, by being aware of a different version of them. So let's say hypothetically they're cold and distant, right? You haven't heard from them for a day and you start spiraling. You can think, oh man, they're so busy, whatever it is, right? They're going to get back to me as soon as they can. You see that shift, right? Because if you were in your desired relationship, you're not going to be attached to the hip 24/7. That's not healthy, right? There's going to be times where you don't communicate. There's going to be times where you're not together, where you're doing your own thing. So just think of that as that in that moment. That's just one example, okay? Shift your perspective of your person. See them as mature. See them as emotionally available. See them as loving towards you. No matter what is showing up in your 3D reality, start seeing that within. And start seeing yourself as the person that deserves that, as the person that receives that. That's the biggest key, is being the person that is already in that relationship, in that end. I hope I answered that question. So we're going to go to the next one. Another SP one. Okay. My person is in another country and I've been manifesting us being together in person. We talk often and there's love between us, but logistics, visas, and money feel like constant obstacles. Can I really manifest a reality where everything aligns for us to be together physically without it taking years? And I forgot to say this person wanted to be anonymous. Let me reread the question. Okay. We talk often and there's love between us, but logistics, visas, money feel like a constant obstacle. Okay. Can I manifest a reality where everything aligns for us to be together physically without it taking years? Absolutely. See, time doesn't exist. Let me say that again. Time does not exist. You only have the now moment. The past is no longer here and it is only a perception. It is only what you keep replaying over and over. Okay? You only have the now moment and the future is not here yet. It is only your assumption of what is to come. So if you keep saying that you have these obstacles such as logistics, visas, and money, that's going to be your constant reality, right? There are no obstacles unless you put them there. As long as you stay and you're in that you are together physically, right? Everything is perfect. Everything is unfolding perfectly. Then that's what will happen. There's been countless situations of people that were trying to get visas to other countries and they felt like it was going to take years. And so it did. There's other people that shifted that mindset and said, no, it's not going to take years. because I'm in this country now, right? You're already in Barbados. So they shift that perspective, and then something miraculously happens, and then they get their visa in a much shorter way in time than they expected, and it's usually in a way that they never expected. As far as money, same thing. Money is not an obstacle. Money is what you perceive it as, right? If you are in a lack mindset, that's what you're going to get more of. If you're in an abundant mindset, you're going to get more of that. And I'm going to be recording and releasing a money and like success type affirmation track here soon, because that's been highly requested. So I will be doing that if you want to listen to that once I release it. But there is no obstacles. The obstacles are only your perception. If you say it's difficult, then it's difficult. If you say it's unfolding perfectly, then it's unfolding perfectly. Okay? So let's go into the next one. All right. Okay, so this one is work related, and this one is from Brian. So Brian says, I've been manifesting a life of freedom, working remotely, traveling, feeling financially and emotionally abundant. But I'm stuck in a draining 9-to-5 job, living paycheck to paycheck. I know my desires are valid, but how do I hold the vision when my current reality feels like the opposite? So this is definitely going into what I've already said. It applies to anything, whether it's a person, it's a job, it's money, it's health, it's all the same thing, right? Right now, Brian, you are in a reality, in a perception of reality, where you are in a sucking, draining 9-to-5 job, where you are living paycheck to paycheck, right? You need to shift your reality as far as your perception of already being the person that has everything that you want. So you want to work remotely, right? Why don't you see your inbox, your emails being flooded with offers for remote work? That's number one. Or your current work offering you a remote position, whatever it is, right? And then you also need to shift it to where you're not living paycheck to paycheck, where money overflows, where you're always taken care of by the universe, source, spirit, God, whatever you resonate with, right? Your financial needs are always taken care of, and they are taken care of so well that everything overflows. I don't know if that's making sense. So that's where you need to get to. Have that feeling now. What would it feel like now if you were financially abundant, where you could travel, where you have time freedom, where you have all these things? How would you think and act? That's what you need to do right now. Okay? So that's that one. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so this one is from Jessica. And Jessica says, I've been manifesting, and she said SP, but we're going to say person. I've been manifesting my person to commit, and they did. But now I'm constantly anxious about losing them or them changing their mind. I didn't expect to feel this insecure once I got what I wanted. How do I shift into being the version of me that feels safe and stable in love instead of spiraling? Great question. So you got your person back. Great, right? So you became the person that they came back to. That's number one. So be proud of yourself of that. Now, you're saying that you're feeling anxious that they might leave, that sort of thing. Realize that you are not your thoughts. Okay? I know everybody says your thoughts create, and what is it? Your feelings and your beliefs and all this sort of thing. That's somewhat true, but it's more about your knowing. So you can have these human emotions of the doubt and anxiousness and insecurity, but still get what you want. How you do that is by knowing. Know that your person loves you. Know that your person came back to you for a reason. Know that you are already in that amazing relationship where they have committed to you, right? It's an inner knowing, and I'm going to be having a video coming out here soon about knowing is the actual key. And I've talked about this a lot in my videos. I've talked about this in my lives plethora of times. It's a knowing. So have the human emotions. It's okay to have them. Forgive yourself for having them, and then shift back to the knowing. No, these thoughts don't create, my knowing does. And it's not even creating because you're already there, right? They already came back. You're already in the relationship. You can't lose it because it's already here. Right? The future isn't here yet. Why are you worried about the future? So right now, you're not living in the now present moment. The now present moment is you are with your person, Jessica. You are already in that relationship. You are in the now, right? Focusing on they might change their mind is like driving your car, trying to look 3 miles ahead of you. You're going to hit a tree, right? Focus on what's directly in front of you. And don't worry about what happened before, because that's just a perception. That was a other selection of reality. You've already selected a new. That's why they came back. Okay? That's it. That's it. Understand that your anxious thoughts are just your old self trying to show back up. It's trying to say, well, wait a minute. I still want to survive, right? I still want to be here. It's the old man trying not to die. You can also watch my video on the 2 wolves. Right now, that's the evil wolf getting angry that you're no longer feeding it. Right? Don't feed that wolf. We're going to feed the good wolf now. The good wolf is the new identity that is already in that relationship, which it sounds like you are. So just focus on that. Don't worry about what's to come. Don't worry about the past, the now moment. Breathe and know that it is here and now. Okay. I got one more, guys, and then I'll get to the questions in the chat. I'm not even looking at what's being typed in the chat yet. I have it scrolled at the top, and then I scroll down after I get done with this. Okay? If you have a question, you can go ahead and put it in the chat, and I will get to it after I get to the last one. All right. So the last one, this one is from B. They just put the letter B for their name. I'm trying to manifest physical healing from a rare condition that most, including spiritual teachers, have never heard of. It's hard to ignore symptoms when no one around me understands what I'm going through. And I feel like I'm constantly having to explain or defend myself. How do I step into the version of me who is fully healed, free from needing validation or external proof, especially when my journey feels so isolating? Okay. B, so I'm going to empathize with you. It's very hard with this type of situation, okay? Especially if you're in pain. I don't know if your condition is causing you pain. I don't know what the condition is, but I want you to realize that you can absolutely shift to where this condition no longer exists, okay? Other people outside of you are only reflecting what you're feeling on the inside, what you are being. So if you are isolating yourself, if you feel like the person that no one understands, then that's going to be your reality. You could just as easily feel like the person that everybody understands, that is there for your support system, right? And then step into that version. What does that version feel like now? Okay? Now, as far as healing your physical self, I've been there, right? We want to shift it. Continue to go to the doctor. If you are going to a doctor and getting treatment, continue your treatments. I am not one that's going to say, oh, you don't need to go to the doctor anymore. Just do this and you'll be healed. Don't listen to that nonsense, okay? Don't listen to that type of advice from these other coaches. I've been there, okay? When I healed my cancer, and you can go watch that video, I still went to my treatment. Okay. I also have a success story from a client that had a cancer scare that then went back and found out, oh, it was a misdiagnosis. By shifting their perspective. Okay. With me, I just knew that the cancer would go away after the first treatment. It was an inner knowing. So you have to know that whatever treatments you're getting, that whatever you're doing, your condition is going to go away. You have to know that your entire body can shift. I mean, let's think about this scientifically for just a moment. All of our cells regenerate. Every single cell in your body regenerates. You have a whole new body. I forgot the years, but after so many years, you have a whole new physical body. Right? Because every cell in your body regenerates. So who's to say that whatever condition you have can't regenerate? It's kind of like reversing aging, right? When I've talked about that. If I could post the photos on here, I would. Okay? But that would link to my personal accounts. And guys, I don't want to mix that. But a couple of years ago, I looked my age. I don't now. Why? Because I shifted my mindset to I always look younger. I always look this, right? And now that's my reality. Everywhere I go, people in person, especially, do not think I'm the age that I am. Right? When we talk about my cancer, there was no way for only one treatment to work. Even the doctor told me that. But it did. Why? Because I knew it. So just know that whatever you're doing, whether it's affirmations, it's visualization, it's feeling, it's also going to your treatments to the doctor, okay? That your condition is healing, that your condition is gone. It's gone now. Be that person now. What would it feel like if you went to the doctor and they told you you are completely healed? Your condition is gone. It's miraculous. This doesn't happen. That was my reality. How would you feel right now if your doctor told you that? Feel that now. Be that now. Still go to the doctor, okay? Go watch my video, chop wood, carry water. We still want to chop wood, carry water, but we still want to know we are now this person. Okay? And guys, if I go longer on some people's questions, there's a reason why. I've had people DM me and they're like, why do you go so much longer on this person's question and not mine? Because some people need it. And with situations like this, they definitely need it, okay? I'm not the coach for you if you're going to get mad that I go into detail on some people. Because they need it. Okay, let's go ahead and look through the chat here. So, Lacey, how do I get someone to leave me alone? I keep doing revision that I have never known them. I have become hyper aggressive. They became hyper aggressive. I keep doing revision. I am not trying to state the old story. Perfect. So, it might be that your current ego, your current identity, can't fathom this person never being in your life. And that's okay. I personally don't do revision. I know, shocker, right? I can teach revision if that's what you would like, but I more so like steps, but that's me, okay? I don't like revising. I like it just me shifting to a different reality. So, with what you're saying, you could see this person leaving you alone, and they're becoming hyper aggressive. Okay. What you could do is be the person that they are no longer contacting. Be the person that they are no longer around. How would you feel if this person just ghosted? How would you feel if this person was just no longer in your life? You need to be that person now and know it isn't unfolding. Know that they're bored of you. They're no longer going to contact you. They're no longer going to be aggressive, right? You could also shift how you see them. You could shift that they are no longer aggressive. They're now a good person, but you have amicably, cut your paths, cut ways. One or the other, okay? And if you're in a dangerous situation, like this person is stalking you, they're being physically abusive, right? Anything like that, contact authorities. I'm not the coach that's going to sit here and say you have to tolerate abuse. That's ridiculous, okay? Shift your mindset about them, but realize that they've already lost interest in messing with you, and now they've moved on. Be that person now. How would you feel if that happened? I don't know if my chat stopped because it looked like I was able to scroll and now I'm not able to. I'm not able to scroll past Ted saying back sorry. Has anybody else asked anything else? Did that make sense, Lacey? I see your message now, so it finally made me scroll. Did that make sense? Perfect. But yeah, I am not above contacting police, okay? Contacting the people that you need to contact. It's kind of like I don't really resonate with people that coach that even if someone's being abusive towards them, they should be with them because that's their person. That the whole twin flame community is about that, and I'm not about that at all. I'm not about that at all, okay? I don't know your situation, but if it is dangerous, please contact authorities. And like I said, just if this person is just in your face and won't leave you alone, just think that they've lost interest. They've moved on, okay? You're no longer interesting to them. And that's it. Anybody else have any other questions? And you guys can ask me anything, whether it's a manifestation question, a question about me, it's fine. Yeah, they lost all the interest. You no longer interest them. They've moved on to something else. Right? I've had this before because I've had stalker situations. So I'll tell you one of my situations. Like I had this one person that I went on one date with, and then they got stalkerish. Okay? And what I mean by stalker is just they didn't have my address and they showed up at my front door because I blocked them on everything. I had video footage of it because I have cameras, and I contacted the police and I got a restraining order against them. They continued to try to contact me on social media and other avenues, right? And I said, they've lost interest in me. They've actually found somebody else that they're super in love with, and that relationship is harmonious. It's healthy. They have realized what they were doing with me was toxic, right? And now they're in a healthy dynamic. That's what I kept seeing, right? And sure enough, first, they stopped blowing up my social media, okay? Second, a friend of mine saw them out with somebody else and said, wasn't this that person that was stalking you? I was like, yeah. And they said, they seemed really happy. I'm like, I'm so happy for them. You see, they were on a date with somebody else and they were happy. There was my confirmation. And I didn't look for it. Did I go to their social media? Did I see, oh, are they dating someone else yet? Are they dating someone else yet, right? No. I let it go. And then someone else contacted me and said, hey, I just saw this person out, right? That is how it happens. You don't have to force. And I'll be doing a video on this, on forcing versus like receiving, right? The mindset shift you can have and the energy shift you can have. Really, it's the identity shift. So that way it flows effortlessly. That's the only thing that I can say. It'll just happen. And sometimes it happens in ways that you don't expect. Anybody else have any questions? You can type them in the chat, but yeah. I'm going to have a lot of things in the works, guys. Just so you guys know, since you guys are in here and I'll announce it, is oh, Lacey says, I love your goddess sub. I use it nightly. Oh, perfect. So the Aphrodite one. I have a lot of videos in the works. I have a lot of content in the works, projects. And one of the things I'm going to do, because I have a lot of clients now that want physical changes, is I'm going to show you guys how physical changes works. I've done it before, so I'm going to do it again. So full transparency here, right? I lost 65 pounds in about 8 months. I lost 30 pounds the first 3 months, and then after that is when I lost the rest of it, right? And when I had gotten down, it was 128 from about 193, 195. So it was actually like 65 to 67 pounds. I lost all my muscle definition. Like, I didn't have my butt anymore. I didn't have the definition in my shoulders that I wanted. I didn't have the definition in my back that I wanted, right? And so then I started strength training again. And during the winter months, I oftentimes have problems emotionally and mentally during the winter months, because that's when a lot of my past family members passed away. So I did gain some weight. So I gained about 10 pounds, 10, 15 pounds during the holidays. So we want to say from November to January. And then I was like, you know what? It's no big deal. I'm going to continue my strength training. I'm going to continue building. And now I have my shoulders a little bit back. I have my glutes back. I have that sort of thing. But of course, I do have layers of fat over it. So now I'm about 20 pounds over where I want to be. I want to be at about 125 with muscle tone. And right now I'm about at 145. Okay? So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to try to find a way to post old photos of me when I was obese, to where they can't be linked to anything else. I'm going to try, okay? I'm going to try to find some that were never posted online, so that way I can show them to you guys. And hopefully find some where I was at 128, so you can kind of see that. Then what I'm going to do is on my community posts, I'm going to post current photos of me. So I'm going to use my backdrop here, so that way you know it's me, right? And I'm going to have it where it's like a before, and then I'm going into manifesting the body that I want. And then I'll check in and show progress once a month. Then what I'm going to do is, after a couple of months, do a video on it and show my progress. That way you guys can follow along with me, and I'm going to make this a challenge. I'm going to make this a public challenge to where you guys can join me with this. And we're going to manifest better bodies. I consider doing just a membership side of the channel and just doing it on that. I don't know. But I thought it might be better to do it public. We'll see. We'll see. I'm still debating that part, whether it's going to be a paid member side. But if it's a paid member side, I'm not going to charge much for it. It's going to be very reasonable. And then we can do the challenge together. Shanice, so let me ask you, because on a member side, what would you want to see? Because I've thought about making a member side. I'm also considering making a school, guys. So the SKOOL, a school. So it's like a community, a paid community. Leanna, what does it mean when someone else who is not your person is pursuing you? That's your magnetic? That you're magnetic? That's your hot mama? That's you're being your best self, that you're glowing? Why is someone pursuing you not good? I don't see that as a bad thing. Do you know how many men pursue me? A lot. A lot. Do I want all of them? No. It doesn't matter. It's showing you that you are desirable. Because why would they try to pursue you if you weren't? They're like, oh, who is this mamacita? Change your perspective. Change your perspective. Look at it as, oh, I'm desirable. Oh, I'm hot. I'm bonita. Right? Shanice, let me think on it, because you already offer a lot for free, but I like memberships as a way to support my fave creators. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. So I might, because I have the meditations and the affirmation tracks that are not public, because I would be demonetized if I put them public. Because it's like remote seduction and stuff. Okay. So I'm thinking about making a membership for that, to where you get that and you can play it as much as you want. Right now, I have that on my Stan store where you can pay for it and you get the links to that and they're unlisted. But I'm thinking about making a membership side where I post like more spicy affirmation tracks, like for remote seduction in the O method. And maybe affirmation tracks and meditations that are more in depth, having that on the membership. Okay, so no, I lost my lover due to me thinking he ghosted until I showed up to his job 1 month later yesterday, and he told me his account was hacked. And he really liked me, but thought I was uninterested since I didn't contact him earlier, and now he's seeing someone else for 3 weeks now, and I'm devastated. I have to grieve him 2 times now. I don't know what your question is, honey. Okay, so Shanice, so maybe the membership has the more out-of-the-box stuff, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm already out of pocket as it is. I'm already out of pocket as it is. So, Allie, I think memberships, it would be nice to have personal insights into your own successes. I mean, I already have that here though, too, you know. But yeah, maybe I should do the whole body transformation because I'm going to be doing that again. Manifesting my dream body. Maybe I should do it on the member side. Is that what you mean? Like my own successes as I'm doing them? Is that what you mean? Okay, so no says, should I move on or manifest him back? That's up to you. What do you want? What do you desire? All realities exist, so which one do you want? I can't tell you what you want. Allie, I think it makes more sense to be a member side. Yeah, it is what I mean. Okay. Yeah, I could do that. I'm down. I am down. Because another thing I was considering doing is for my people that are my business clients that are trying to manifest, business success from scratch, is I was thinking of making a side business from scratch and documenting my success with it as I'm doing it. Like showing like screenshots of my back end, stuff like that, as I'm doing it. Shanice, also possibly client interviews for those who are willing to share either video or podcast out. I wish they would. I haven't had anyone that is open to that, and I never push. So anyone that sends me stuff, like when I do the screenshots, guys, I ask permission. I'll do the screenshot, I send it to them like, hey, can I use this? And they say yes or no. If they say no, I don't use it. I delete it right away and I don't use it. If they say yes, then I do. The ones that have sent me voice messages, I don't know if they'd be comfortable with an interview style. But I can ask. I never push. It's whatever people are comfortable with. Because I don't really push for that stuff. It's whatever they send me. But yeah, I'm considering the membership side of YouTube, but also the school. So a school, there would be different tiers for different things. So the first tier, what I'm thinking is just a basic community, right? Where everyone could come in and chat and post their wins and post their questions, and I'll be responding to some of those questions periodically, or other people within the community can respond. Then the second tier would get exclusive videos, right? Like if I did a member side of the YouTube channel, I would also post it on there, and they would be guaranteed for me to answer their questions. And then maybe a third tier where it's also live coaching. Maybe I'll do that on the second tier. I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to figure out the logistics, right? Of where I'll go live, say on Skype, and those in that tier can join the private Skype, and I will personally coach them one-on-one within the group for, say, 15 minutes for each person. That's what I'm thinking. Like they can ask a question or two and I'll coach them for 15 minutes. Kind of like a live group style. So of course that would be cheaper than booking a one-on-one session with me. And maybe for the lower tier, I'll go live with them like once a month, and those that join can ask one question, and it's however long I answer that. But they can ask it live in a group Skype, and then I'll answer it, and they can join me and go on camera and talk if they would like to, and they can share. Those are things that I'm considering. And maybe for the lower tier, I'll record it so they will know ahead of time it is recorded, and that will be shared on my channel. Are you writing all of this down so you can remember? I shared it with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT keeps track of everything. I make ChatGPT my personal assistant. So I will be also working on, I've quite a few courses I'm working on, and ebooks and things like that as well. Because here's the thing, guys. Do I offer one-on-one? Yes. Do I offer a texting membership? Yes. Do I go live on here for free? Yes. I do everything because everyone's different. Some people do not want to watch videos on YouTube. Some people do not want to do one-on-one sessions. Some people don't want to do a texting membership. They want to buy a course, go through it on their own accord, and then that's it. Some people want to read an ebook, right? And then they get the information and they're good. So I hit everything, and everybody's learning style is different, right? So I'm working on quite a bit as far as ebooks and courses, and I'm going to be doing more like basic stuff, like those that are new to everything. I'm starting there because now that I've got the SP stuff done, I'm starting with those that are new to just manifestation in general. That will be first. Then I'm going to be doing a self-concept course, workshop, something like that. Then I'm going to be doing also like a money ebook, a money course, like business success, that sort of thing. And I'm also going to be working on a ChatGPT course. So there is a couple of modules within the SP challenge that talks about using ChatGPT, but I'm going to take it a step further to using ChatGPT for everything. And I'm going to show within that course, recording my screen and showing you how to create different GPTs for different things. So I have a GPT that is my personal assistant for just my business, for this business. I have a GPT that is a personal assistant from one of my other businesses. I have a GPT that is my personal coach as far as just me personally, right? Kind of like a therapist or a coach, if you will, like personal life coach. I have them all. There's no limits. And I have taught the GPT that's a personal coach my style of coaching. I've taught it how to coach like me. So I practice what I preach. Right? Okay. Allie, learning styles are different, so it makes sense to accommodate to that. Exactly. And I'll be having a public video on what techniques to use if you want to use techniques based on your learning style. Another possible idea, members only chat. Yeah. That's definitely going to be in the works as well. Members only chat as far as me going live, or like a Discord or something like that. Or what is that other app? I think I have it downloaded on my phone. Maybe I don't. Telegram. I've never used Telegram. I've just heard good things about it. My only concern with like a big chat is that I might not be able to keep up with it all, and then, you know, people are getting advice from others and it might not be the best advice, you know? So that's what I'm trying to figure out, like, the best way to go about it. Yeah, Slack is another idea. I'm familiar with Slack. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There will definitely be rules within anything I do. Like, no venting nonstop about your circumstances. It's okay to briefly talk about your circumstances once to then ask a question about it. I understand that entirely, right? You need to give us context. But when you're in victim mentality, that's where I draw the line. And that's another video that's going to be coming out. I have so many videos coming out, guys. So I attended a webinar, I think it was a couple of weeks ago now. I have to look at my calendar. But it was for a few days. And it was 3 days, I believe. 3 days about, sorry, my nose. About online business, right? And because again, guys, people are like, oh, how can you be a coach? Like everything's for free. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, in all of my videos, I tell you, you don't need a coach. If you feel you don't need a coach, you don't need a coach. Go watch content on Neville Goddard. Go read Neville Goddard's books. Go read Joseph Murphy's books. Read the Bible. Right? You don't need a coach if you don't feel you need one. However, the most successful people in the world have coaches. Michael Jordan had a coach, even being one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Tony Robbins, one of the best motivational speakers and coaches there is, has a coach. Okay? So, I went to this webinar, and it was primarily around business, online advertising, online marketing, sales, that sort of thing. It was ran by Russell Brunson. I had to think of his last name. Russell Brunson, and he is the founder of ClickFunnels. But it had other speakers there talking about their success, talking about their life and, you know, how they became who they are. And I love that stuff. I love it. I love it, right? So there was a speaker on there that was born with a particular condition, a chromosome type of condition. It wasn't Down syndrome. It was something else. I think it was a chromosome condition. Either way, he was born with a deformity that completely deformed his face. And he had multiple surgeries. And he talked about how when he was little and he was being bullied and made fun of at school, and he came home and he was crying and went to the bathroom and just locked himself in the bathroom and cried, and his mom like bust in like a ninja and said, "Who's hurting my baby? I'm gonna go after them." All this stuff. And then after she talked to him, she said, okay, you have two choices. You can stay in this victimhood. And she had him go look in the mirror, and she's like, look at yourself. Look at how handsome you are. Look how brilliant you are. Right? She said you can either be the victim or you can be the victor. And I love that. I love that. And his whole thing, I'm going to link him when I do a video on it. He has a YouTube channel. He talks about the victor/victim thing that he goes about. You have two choices. You can be a victim to your circumstances, or you can be the victor. Think about every great story in history. There's always a backstory. They always went through some shit, right? There's always a backstory. Michael Jordan, I talked about him before. Michael Jordan was told he would never be a basketball player. Was told that he sucked. right? Didn't even make his high school team. Now he's the greatest of all. He's in history as the greatest basketball player of all time. Circumstances don't matter. They don't matter. So are you the victim or are you the victor? And I'll be making a video on that. And I'll link the guy. I forget his name. I wrote his name down and I have it in a notebook somewhere. I just don't know where that notebook is right now. So yeah, unless I have it written over here. Let's see. No, I don't. This is all notes for videos. Okay. Hi, Andy. But yeah, I'll be making so many videos, guys. So many videos. Hold on. Let me pull open my ChatGPT just to show you. Because I have ChatGPT organize my video ideas. So, if I go through here, look at this. These are all video ideas right here. And I'm still going that I have not done yet. All of that, okay? All of that, because as I get them, I send it to ChatGPT and I say, list this down. I haven't done this yet. And then as I do record the videos, I say, okay, I've already recorded this one. Take it off the list. Right? So those are all the ones I haven't done yet. And there's more. Because, guys, when I record, I'm not the one that just clicks record on my camera, does the video, and then that's it. Yeah, I edit. I edit for a reason. Number one, to fix my lighting. Okay. Number two, I put the words on screen. I put the captions because I have clients that are hard of hearing. I have clients that, I even have a client that's deaf. I have clients that English is not their first language. That's why I do it. And I've had people ask why I do it. That's why. Okay? I do it to help everyone. Is it time consuming? Yes. But I enjoy doing that. I enjoy doing it, so I'm going to continue doing it. And I don't care what anyone says. People going to say, oh, it's this, it's that. I don't care. I'm not for you. Go watch someone else. Right? How many coaches are out there? How much content is out there? What I find interesting is when someone criticizes me and then I just address their concern and they think it's me being defensive. I don't care. I'm just trying to address your concern. You know, if you say, how did you said this and blah blah blah, okay, cool. I'll tell you exactly what I meant by that. And recently someone's pointed out how, I don't even know if I said this in a video. I don't think I did. Is that I have a friend in my past that manifested his person from being straight to being gay and being into him. And they're like, oh, that's far-fetched. How is it far-fetched? Sexuality is fluid. I know plenty of people that were straight their entire life and then turned gay. I know plenty of people that were gay and turned straight. I have a childhood friend that she was lesbian all of her life, and now she's married to a man because she fell in love with him. Like, sexuality is fluid, guys. So none of that stuff matters. Sarah, I was just thinking about that. Yeah. Call me out and I'll answer you, but then don't get mad at me because I'm answering you. doesn't make sense. You can call me out, it's fine. Ask me, I'll tell you. But yeah, I don't even think I made a video on that. Sarah, did I make a video on that? Did I talk about my friend that changed his person from straight to gay? I don't think I did. But that wasn't a client, that was a friend. And that was years ago. I don't think I did. I think I commented that, but I don't think I made a video on it. That's what's interesting. You know? And it's kind of like people saying, oh, you have no proof that you reversed aging, or you have no proof that you lost weight. I do. I do. It's just, it's personal photos that are also on my personal accounts. And so I don't want to post those. Like, that's preference. Like, what? If you don't believe that's possible, that's okay. I mean, even on those personal accounts, I won a fitness challenge, okay? And I won money from it. And I posted my results on my personal account. And I had comments like, oh, Ozempic, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. It was my mindset. Because people say, oh, you didn't manifest it, you didn't manifest weight loss, you just dieted and exercised. Yes, I dieted and exercised. But what you don't know is for years, I did different diets and exercises and I got no results. Why? Because I was still being the person that was obese. Okay? You cannot force something that you are not. You have to be that person first. How many people do you know that barely eat, right? Or they eat the 6 small meals a day, or they work out for 2 to 3 hours a day, and they stay the same? A lot. Why? Because they are still being the person that is still in the body that they have. You cannot physically change until you become the person that already has it. Trying to force the 3D, the thing outside of you, even your physical body, without first becoming that person, again, as a woman, is like what? Taking out the lipstick, putting it on the mirror, and it's like, why isn't lipstick on my face? As a man, the equivalent to that could be you taking out the shaving cream and you're putting the shaving cream on the mirror, and then you're shaving yourself and wondering why you're getting nicked. Wondering why the shaving cream isn't on your face. That's what you're doing when you do that. When you focus on the outside circumstances, and I've been there, okay? That's what you're doing. When I was constantly dieting, constantly focused on why isn't this working, I was not being the person that already had that. I was trying to put the lipstick on the mirror. And this is why I know what I'm talking about. Sure, diet and exercise helps. But how many people do you know lose a ton of weight and then gain it right back within a couple of months? Right? Most of my weight gain right now is muscle, because that was intentional. Okay? But how many people do you know lose 50, 100 pounds and then they gain it back very shortly after? Why? Because they are still the person that is obese. There's also people out there that lose a lot of weight and they keep it off. Why? Because now they are the person that is physically fit. It's within. It's who you are being, your identity. Hi, JJC. Oh, I went over a lot of stuff in this in this session, JJC. Per usual. Per usual. Yeah, I was going over the naysayers saying that I didn't actually do the things I've done. That's fine. They can say that. It doesn't bother me. I know what I've done. I know who I am. They must not know who they are. And that's okay. We're going to hold space for them. We're going to show compassion to them, and we're going to be empathetic. See, I don't bash anyone. We are not here to bash anyone. We are not here to talk down to anyone. JJC, I lost 100 pounds and gained it back after a breakup where I internalized a lot of things that happened. Yeah, that does happen. Actually, a lot. That does happen. You missed me. I thought you were in my last live. Am I wrong? I mean, I could be. Who knows? But yeah, the reason why you would gain the weight back after a breakup is because you were not being the person that has the body that you want. And if that's being 100 pounds less, that's being 100 pounds less. Ah, okay. Maybe I'm wrong. See, I don't know, guys. I don't focus on time. I don't focus on past. So I forget a lot. A lot. Duncan, I look forward to your body transformation challenge and mentorship on whatever platform you use. Yeah. I'm trying to consider again, like, should I do a school? Should I just do it here on YouTube? That's what I'm trying to figure out, because both I could do technically tiers. I just feel like a lot of people don't want to do memberships on YouTube. You know, they'd prefer to do it on a school or somewhere else. JJC, exactly. I was being the sad guy who was dumped, and the bad person my ex said I was being. Yeah. You were identifying with who you weren't. Right. You know the truth. You know who you really are. Just like when I was obese, I was like, this isn't me. That's instantly when the shift happened. Because I had been exercising, I had been dieting way before that. But I took a look in the mirror and I was like, this is not me, right? This isn't me. And then that's when I did what I mentioned in my 2024 Intentions Came True video. I printed up photos of what I wanted to be, and I put them all over my wall, and I said that that's me now. And then I did become that. Like I said, I've gained 20 pounds, not even 20 pounds, 15 pounds. I've gained 15 pounds since then. Ooh, almost dropped my oil here. 15 pounds since then, but I want to lose about 20 pounds, but maintain my muscle. So that is what I'm going to be doing with my physical challenge. JJC, good lesson, because I'm losing it again as a result of my self-concept and doing a 180. Perfect. I know you're a guy. Is 180 your goal? Because that would be funny. I'm doing a 180 and I'm going to be 180. Right? Mel, I think I remember you mentioning the story where your friend changed their person's sexuality in the same video as the success story about the gay client getting his partner back. Oh, okay. If I mention it in that's perfect. But that was not a client. That was a friend from years ago, way before I started coaching. Yeah, that was way before I started coaching. That was just a friend that changed how he saw his person, right? And so his person fell in love with him and became gay. And like I said, sexuality is fluid. I have a personal friend that her partner is trans, female to male, and he looks every bit a male, okay? When I met him, I thought he was male. And he is younger than her by about 12 years, I think. I think they have a 12-year age gap. When she met him, she would never consider being with a woman. She would never consider being with trans. This is prior to when she met him. But she fell in love with him. And they've been together now, I think, for 7 years, 8 years. Right? Sexuality is fluid. Her entire life, she's straight. Her entire life, she would never be with a woman, would never be with even consider being with a trans man, right? But she changed because she fell in love with him. That's why when that person said that's far-fetched, I'm like, what? How? I'm confused. And I wasn't even talking about a paid client. I was talking about a friend. It's kind of like I post sometimes success stories from just viewers. It's not just paid clients. I'm not here to make you pay for services that you don't feel you need. That's fine. You can watch my free content. I give so much away on my free content. I don't gatekeep. There's no gatekeeping. Do my courses get more intense? Yes. Is there more detail in them? Yes. But I still say the same things here on my channel. Right? And the information is there for you. And recently I started doing the videos on Bible scriptures. I will be doing those every week, and they will be posted every Sunday. It's going to be under my playlist, Take Me to Church. I've decided that's what I'm going to do. But I might not go over 10 scriptures like I did in my last one, because that was intensive. And that video took forever to edit. But I will likely go over at least 1 to 5 scriptures per video. And that non-client success story was great. They knew who they were and are now happy. Exactly. Exactly. Like, guys, it's not just paid clients that get results. That's why I find it so interesting when people, you know, want to disprove this stuff, and then they bring up stuff like that's like, okay, but we also post stuff that's not paid clients. At least I do. And I've seen other coaches do that too, right? They post stuff that's not just paid clients. But that just shows you it's a matter of perspective, right? It's kind of like someone tried to say that I name drop all the time. It's like other coaches name drop, right? A lot of people name drop Tom Kieran. And often. Well, that's for a reason. He's a great guy. Nothing wrong with his coaching if you resonate with it, right? He is a coach that if people ask me what other channels should they watch aside from mine, his, absolutely. He's one of them. Olivia from Master Manifestors is the reason why I went live with her. Of course, Eric from The Power of I Am. Zach from, what is his channel? Zach Hikari, I think it is. there's quite a few that I resonate with and I like. Do I watch their content now? Not really, but I know what they're about. And I watch them every now and then. Sarah, I think that person who criticized you is just in emotional pain and looking to lash out at someone. Hopefully they find peace. That's what I said. I really do wish them the best. And it's already my assumption that this was just an emotional outburst. When I went to their profile, they were posting comments on subreddits for neurodivergence. So ADHD, autism, that sort of thing. I'm actually a ASD1 and ADHD. So I'm autistic and have ADHD. Could I change that? Yes. I don't care to. Because my brain works differently, I think it makes me a different type of coach. So I use it to my advantage as opposed to using it as a hindrance, right? Now, with that being said, some people that are neurodivergent have emotional breakdowns, have meltdowns, and I think that this was a meltdown for them. And so I'm holding space for them, and I hope they're watching me. I really do. I hope they're watching me, and so that way they can hear my tone. I was not being defensive. The tone that I was saying in my comments is the same tone that I have right now. I was addressing their concerns because it was all misunderstandings. And it's already my assumption that they are going to heal from this meltdown, right? They're going to see that I'm not who they thought I was, and that's going to shift. It's kind of like, to be honest, guys, be honest. The reason why I mention Eric is because I had coaching with him. There's an old video where I mentioned him, and I mentioned the coaching that I had with him. It's my, I manifested 5K in a week, that video. I mentioned him in that, and I mentioned him when I'm live because sometimes I'm mentioning something he said, or I'm mentioning it because someone in my chat brings him up. Okay? Now, when I first saw him, okay, I was not interested in his content. This was last year. This was in, I think when he first started, May, end of May, is when he first popped up on YouTube for me. And I was not interested in his content, right? I even clicked the little 3 little dots and said not interested so that YouTube would stop showing them to me, right? Because of my perception of him. Because when I first saw him, I thought, oh God, it's another one of them. And I thought he was only for men. I thought he was misogynistic. I thought he would be part of that type of crowd, right? Based on my perception. Then what happened is outside of YouTube, right? Just on social media. Prior to that, when I had that perception of him, I was heavily debating the red pill community. I was heavily into watching, oh, men aren't shit, and that type of content for a little while. And then I said, you know what? I don't like this. This doesn't feel good. So I stopped engaging with that type of content, right? I stopped engaging with that type of content. And whenever it would show up on my feeds, whether it was Facebook, Instagram, whatever, I would click, I no longer want to see this, whatever it is, right? And then Eric popped up again on my feed on YouTube. This was June, July. And I said, okay, all right, source, all right, universe, you want me to see him, I'm going to see him. And I changed my mindset before I even clicked on the video of being open-minded to what he had to say. I watched the first video and I was like, oh, okay, this is different. I like this. So then I got coaching with him. And really, when we had coaching together, he told me, he asked me what I had manifested before. He asked me about my experience with manifesting. He said, you're advanced. He said, you do Christ conscious level manifestation. What are you coming to me for? I was like, I guess to just be reminded of what I am. And that's what it was, right? And a lot of my clients that come to me, it's the same thing. They know the law. They've been practicing the law or manifestation for many years. And they come to me and I'm like, okay, this is what you are. Let's get back to it, right? And that's all it was. And since then, me and him became friends. Like, we texted, we've had inside jokes. Does he respond to a lot of my texts now? No, but I know that that's because he's super busy. Like, he gets super booked out, and that's fine. I am so happy for him. I'm happy that he has that success. See, when you want certain success, be happy for other people having that success, because again, it's showing you what is possible, right? Do I need the money from coaching? No, because I have other businesses. But I enjoy this. It brings me joy. And I follow my joy. Okay? JJC, yes, I thought he would be an Andrew Tate / alpha male type guy, but he's truly an awesome person. This story is almost exactly what happened with me. That's funny. And that just shows you, I'm just a reflection of you, JJC. I am you in a female body, right? An older female body. I am just you reflected out. And you are just me reflected out. That's why we have similar experiences. It's kind of like sometimes my clients that come to me are neurodivergent. They have autism, ADHD, obsessive compulsive disorder. They are, I'm having a brain fart here. They are dyslexic, that sort of thing. And they relate to me on that. They relate to me on the struggles that they've experienced with that. And that is why, again, one of my many videos I need to make, I'm going to be making a video on how to manifest with being, how to meditate with being neurodivergent. Okay? Because meditation took me years to figure out, because the way that other people teach meditation, from my experience, right? People from my past taught it in a way that didn't work for my brain. I had to figure out how to do it for myself. This was before guided meditations were a thing. Okay? I love guided meditations because they help me, and that's why I do them. Because I'm able to experience that, and I've done ones for myself. I've recorded myself, right? That's recording. Recording myself, right? I recorded myself doing my own meditations for myself, and they worked. So that's why I do it for you guys. But I want to do a video on meditating with ADHD, whether you use a guided meditation or not, because I figured it out. And so I will be doing a video on that. People haven't explained things to me at work, and I'm just like, what do you mean by explaining things to you at work? Hi, Gardine. Is it Gardine? Jerlyn? Revert. Interesting name. But yes, I believe that my neurodivergence makes it so I see things in ways that other people don't, because of how my brain works. It's kind of like, okay, and this wasn't always me, okay? When someone criticizes me, the way that I take it now is not the way that I took it years ago. If someone had posted something like that about me and went all out and tearing me apart, I would have had a meltdown previously. Now, no, I understand where it's coming from, because I understand my past self, and that honestly showing up in my reality just shows me how much I've grown. So it showed up in my reality for a reason, and that's why I just give them compassion and empathy. And I already know that they're going to shift And they are going to, I wouldn't say be embarrassed that they posted that. They're not going to regret it, but they're going to realize, oh wow, I am no longer this person that feels this way, that thinks this way. And they might even delete that post. Who knows? Whether they do or don't, it doesn't matter. But they're going to realize that they've outgrown that. And they're going to be a better person. I already know it. Gardane, I have a question. Please, do you think twin flame can be a angel and a demon this much opposite? I don't know what you mean by that question, but twin flames don't actually exist. Everyone is your twin flame, including me, because everyone is your mirror. I have a whole video on twin flames, soulmates, and SPs. Go watch that. There is no one person that is your twin flame. Sarah, you handled the criticism very well. I was angry for you, but I realized it's something conflicted in them. Yeah. And like I said, everything in your reality shows up for a reason. How I took this is there was something in me that thought that someone might post this, right? I was being the person that someone would post that. And so I was like, oh, okay. And then I looked at it and I'm like, I've grown a lot because I'm not upset. I'm not upset. I didn't have a meltdown. I was exactly like I am right now. When I typed out what I did, it was in a neutral tone. It was neutral, but also empathetic and compassionate. They can take it however they want. You know, they even said, oh, you expect me to read all that? No, that's not an expectation. I have no expectation. I typed it out and posted it to clear up any misunderstandings. Whether that person reads it or not, it doesn't matter, because someone else will read it and be like, oh, okay. Right? If only it helps one person, that's why I posted it. That's it. If I help one person from that post, that's it. That's all I care about. Whenever I post my videos, I don't care how many views I get. You know, people have asked me that. They're like, if you can manifest anything, why aren't you viral now? Why don't you have hundreds and thousands of subscribers? Because I don't care. I don't care. Okay? If I do, I do. If it happens, it happens. But I don't care if it does. Because, see, I'm not here for the masses. I'm here for the 1%. I'm here for the 1% that is ready to be reminded of who they are. I'm here for the 1% that resonates with me. I've said it before, I'm an advanced coach. I'm not really beginner friendly, though I've had people come to me that are somewhat beginners, but they're ready for me. Does that make sense? So it doesn't matter to me, because again, I don't rely on the money from this. I run 2 other businesses. That's why I can't post a video every day and post on social media every day and everything else. Right? I run 2 other businesses aside from this. One is kind of on autopilot, but I still have to do, I still go to a meeting once a week for it. The other one I work on probably about an hour a day at this point, because I have it to that point, right? Okay, I'm not saying the first part of your name, but Lars, how does streaming work for you when you're on your period? What? I'm not answering that. I don't even know what you're asking, but I'm not answering that. And if you're disrespectful, I'll just kick you out. And then you'll never be able to join again. Tread lightly. Tread lightly. I don't answer troll questions. That's a type of a troll question. I also have a right to refuse to answer a question. You can ask anything, that doesn't mean I have to answer it. Oh, I'll answer that because I like it. You said, what's up with the mask? I like it. I'll put on another one too. I could put on this one and cover my entire face. And then now what? Now what? Because I like it. I just don't have the bottom of my face covered because I like to drink my coffee while I'm on here. Because I like it. That's why. I do it because I like it. That's the only answer you need. It's kind of like asking, why did you wear a gray shirt? Because I wanted to. Why are you wearing a gray shirt? I don't know. I wanted to. I put it on. But no, the real reason, because I know a lot of you guys are new to me and don't know, and I've said it many times. The real reason why I wear masks on my videos and on my lives is because I want you to focus on my message and not me. Because those that are watching me, I am just an outward reflection of you. And your reality, I am just an outward reflection of you. You are the operant power of your reality. So therefore, the only thing that matters is you. It doesn't matter about me. I want you to focus on my message, not who I am. That's it. But I like it. I started doing the masks when I did tarot. So I did tarot before, and I have a video on that. Like if you watch my introduction videos on why I shifted and why I no longer do tarot. But when I did tarot, I also didn't show my face. I would go live on my Instagram and I would have a mask on. Usually it was a filter, like a filter mask, but sometimes a physical mask. And I did it for the same reason. So it's like, okay, I'm going to do it again. Just because my brand shifted, just because everything shifted doesn't mean that I can't still do it. I still have the same name. I've been Alchemistic Anomalous since, what was it? End of 2020, end of 2021, I forgot. And that's when I did tarot. And what's funny is no one was going by Alchemistic at the time. No one. Now when I look it up, there's other accounts with that name. And that's fine. I don't care. JJC, can you help me manifest getting my dream job and schedule? I don't know what it would be, but I know I want to leave my current one gracefully. I think Inner Vision is going to be my brand when I start. Perfect. As far as your job, well, you need to, I mean, if you don't know what you want to do, how can I help you? First, you need to know what you would want to feel like in your dream job and schedule. What type of person would you want to be? And then become that. It's that easy. It's kind of like when people tell me, I want to work from home. Okay, great. What does that look like for you? Start feeling that way now. Start being that person now. You know, do you get to play with your dog? Do you get to pet your cat? Do you get to play with your kids? Whatever it is. Do you get to take a break and play a video game real quick? I don't know. But Literally manifesting anything is all about being the person that has it. It's being the identity first. Self-concept. You have to be the person first, and then it shows up. You shift to that reality. Every version of you exists. There's a version of you that's a multi-billionaire. There's a version of you that is homeless and on the street. There's a version of you that has your dream job. There's a version of you that has your dream schedule. Right? JJC, got it. Feeling fulfilled and like I'm making a difference in others' lives. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's it. Whatever that looks like for you. So outside of here, one of my businesses, I do marketing, advertising, and business consulting. I shift people's businesses. Not just the coaching client that I posted his success story on here, but I'm talking about outside of here. I've helped people 10x their businesses. As far as coaching clients, I have clients that are millionaires that want to be billionaires. It's like, okay. I do not judge. I have clients that are making $30K a year to $50K a year, and I'm not talking about texting members because, of course, you know, they might not be able to afford that. I'm talking about people that just do emails or whatever that want to make $100K a year. Great. It's the same thing. Whether you want to go from millionaire to billionaire, 30K to 100K, it's the same concept. What would your life look like once you have your dream income, once you have your dream job, once you have your dream schedule? For me, I like working 20 hours a week. And that's what I do. I only work, actual work, 20 hours a week. Right? That's it. I only work 20 hours a week. This I don't consider work. This is fun for me. I enjoy this. So this is not work. But I actually work 20 hours a week. Lars, how do I cope with crippling depression and PTSD from a toxic relationship? Love that question. So, number one, you could revise that relationship. Okay, it sounds like you are no longer in that relationship. You could revise that relationship and see it as healthy, right? But you guys didn't work out for amicable reasons. You could shift your perspective on it, or you could realize that that relationship showed you what you don't want, and thank it for the experience. Thank it for being there for you to show you the person that you don't want to be. The person that would accept toxicity. The person that would accept abuse if that was what you were experiencing. Right? Thank it for that experience, because you can't know cold without hot. You can't know what light is without darkness. You can't know what sweet tastes like without sour or savory. Right? Or salty. Or all those things in between. Right? You can't know those things without experiencing the opposite. So you could use that situation and that experience as showing you contrast to what you don't want. Right? Showing you the identity that you don't want to be. The identity that doesn't know their worth. The identity that there may have been part of you that was toxic in that relationship. And I'm saying that gently. I'm saying that with compassion and empathy, because I've been there. Okay? I was in an abusive relationship for 3 years with a narcissist, and I did not call them a narcissist. It was a therapist that did. We went to couples therapy, and after the first session, and then in the second session when it was one-on-one, she pointed out to me that he was a covert narcissist. Okay? I could revise that relationship to where he wasn't, but I choose not to because it's the contrast. It shows me why I deserve better. And in that relationship where I said you need to really look at yourself and see where you yourself is toxic, I was toxic in that relationship also. Okay? I was a person that was accepting abuse. I was a person that was giving from an empty cup. I was a person that didn't know my self-worth. I was a person that tried to force someone to be a certain way. That's toxic, right? I thought if I give and give and give and give and give, and if I'm a good person, this person would change for me. That's toxic. No one changes. No one changes for you, okay? But the version of them that shows up in your reality coincides with who you are being. You can only experience abuse if you accept it. Again, we're facing the mirror right now, right? Again, with compassion and empathy, it's not self-blame. It's not blaming you for this. It's thanking yourself, forgiving yourself for being the identity that accepted that. Forgiving the other person for how they showed up to you. Forgive them for what they do, for they know not what they do. They can only show up by who you are being. They can only show up by how you perceive them. If you perceive them as toxic, abusive, that is how they show up. You could change that perspective. If you don't want to revise the past, which I did not, that's okay. Right? What did you learn from it? And then shift your perspective. This person is abusive because they are hurting. This person verbally abused me and talked down to me because they are hurting on the inside. They are projecting, right? Have compassion and empathy for them. Forgive them and forgive yourself. You can use the Hawaiian prayer, and I used to know it off the top of my head. I don't say it as much anymore. Let me look it up real quick. It's the Ho'onopono. So you can think about this person and think about your past self, okay? And repeat these words. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Let me repeat that. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. See how that makes you feel. And that's for your past self. It's for your current self and what you're experiencing. And that is for them as well. Okay? JJC, amazing answer. You're in a good situation, Lars, because now you get to choose the opposite. Exactly. In this current moment, you get to select the new reality. The new reality of you that experiences what you would like to experience. Lars, well, I kind of realized that I didn't want that. Hence, I left. Perfect. One time she threatened me at knife point and she said, I was the reason she was contemplating suicide. Yeah, I was toxic myself. Okay. We're going to hold space for that, right? She likely was doing those things for her own pain. And it was a reflection of your own pain within yourself. Everything on the outside is within. So within is so without. So above is so below. Okay? You identified that you were this person that experiences this right in this moment. As you're listening to me is the only moment you have. The past no longer exists. The future is not here yet. You only have the now moment. So in this now moment, you get to select a new version of you. You get to select the person that has the experience that you wish to desire. We are going to thank the past self, thank the person, right, that experienced that, because without that, you can't know what you want. You would not be here on my live. I would not show up in your reality unless you were ready for this. You are ready for this. You are ready to step into a new version of you that is happy, that is healthy, right? That experiences the love and joy that you want to experience. That experiences the relationship that you want to experience. That experiences anything that you want to experience. We are stepping into that now. Right? And again, so many videos I need to do. I'm going to be doing a video on an exercise that I went through a client. Okay? Again, the things that I do in coaching, guys, I post here. Okay? I post here for you guys. An exercise that I did with them on changing your identity, forgiving the past self and stepping into the new self. I have a lot of videos really going over that, but this was an actual exercise that I went through with them, so I will be posting that soon. And it worked for them. So that's why I post it. When things are successful, I post it. Lars, I know what person I want to be. I escaped a reality without knowing what I went to. I don't know who I am, where I'm going, what I want, and that's okay. Hold space for who you are right now. It's okay that you don't know. You don't need to know right in this moment. That's okay. You could just sit in the energy and space that you are safe and protected. That you are enough just as you are. Right? You are perfect just as you are. You don't have to change. You don't have to be anything different than what you are. Gardine, you are amazing for real. I feel so much better in this moment. Thank you. No problem. That's what I'm here for, guys. Again, if I go live and only help one person, that makes my day. That's it. If I help only one person, that is why I'm here. Yeah, just be with self. It's okay. It's okay to be with self. Just be still, right? Be still and know that I am God. You are the God of your reality. And if you wish to experience just being still, just be still. If you want to experience whatever it is, that's okay. Any desire that you have, once you have it, once you know what you want, is possible. Any desire. One thing I want to point out, and Lars, I want to use you an example. I hope you don't mind, and I know that you're not going to mind. You see, guys, how I took someone that was being a troll to now he shifted into, I'm going to be still right now. And he actually opened up to me. Thank you for that, Lars. He opened up in this session. And hopefully he made a breakthrough. I shifted someone that was being a troll with their first question into what they are now. By what? Not entertaining what I didn't want to entertain. By being true to myself and setting healthy boundaries. JJC, so interesting that you experience that type of situation, Lars. The last relationship I was in 3 years ago was with someone who was addicted to pills and said similar things. And JJC, my advice goes for you too, right? Forgive that person. They were likely taking pills for a reason, right? I just got disconnected and reconnected. Hopefully you can hear me. But they were probably addicted to pills for a reason. I had a cousin that was for many years, and they were addicted to them because they had been abused by someone, and this person broke bones, and they were given pain pills to deal with that pain, and they got addicted to the opioids. Okay? And they went through rehab and everything else. I actually trolled with the serious question because I thought it would catch you off guard, but I've said it is true. But all I've said is true, though, and that's fine. You're not going to catch me off guard. Good luck. Those that have been with me for a while that are in this chat, like JJC, Sarah, if she's still here, Allie, if she's still here, can tell you, you're not going to catch me off guard. Best you. Yeah, I am still live. I know, it's almost 2 hours. I'm about to get off of here, though. And I've went over a lot. A lot. So if you did not catch most of it, it'll be up and you can watch the replay. Yeah, Sarah knows I don't get caught off guard. I don't get caught off guard. You're not going to bother me. You can't troll me. It doesn't work. Elvin, can I manifest safety if I feel an underlying fear? Absolutely. Absolutely. Fear is the opposite of love. See, people think that hate is the opposite of love. No, fear is. Fear is the opposite of love. So how you get past the feeling of fear is by feeling the feeling of love. Love feels safe, right? Feel the feeling of love and safety. That being said, is abuse against men in relationships a taboo? I've seen far too little content on the topic. Absolutely not, it's not taboo. I hold space for everybody. I don't care your born sex or your identified gender. That doesn't matter. Men can experience the same traumas and abuse that a woman can. Anyone that says differently, they can leave my channel. Bye! Right? They can leave my channel. I was just telling a client earlier in my texting membership how a lot of the men that come to me have been through some type of abuse or trauma. You just proved my point. You just proved my assumption is real. JJC, thank you so much for holding space for men who have experienced abuse. Absolutely. And see, this is the thing, is so many people assume that because a male, genetically, biologically is stronger than a woman, that they can't experience that. No. Yes, Statistically, men experience abuse from other men, but they can still experience it from other women. From women, I should say, not other women. But no, it's the thing is people say, oh, you create your reality and it's because of you that you experience this. See, that's victim blaming. I don't like that. It's not that you created it. It is just one selection of reality that you experienced. And you experienced that as God, as the universe, as source. And I'm sorry, this mask is driving me nuts. Because it's been a while since it's been on. But anyway, the reason why you experience those things is so that you can experience the opposite. Right? People say, oh, well, how can a 5-year-old manifest being abused, right? The 5-year-old didn't manifest being abused. Your current identity perceives that past, remembers that past now. Okay? The 5-year-old didn't do it. Even you now didn't do it. It's just a memory that you're perceiving, right? And as God wanted to experience itself, it has to experience those things to know the opposite, to know compassion, to know empathy, to know love, to know safety. Okay? And anyone that talks down to men and says it's not possible for you to be our word, okay? And it's not possible for you to be physically abused by a woman, they can get the F off my channel. Okay? Because yes, you could experience that, but it's to show you a contrast. It's for you to have the darkness so that you can experience the light, right? We want to talk about healthy and toxic masculinity. Healthy and toxic femininity is also a thing. You have to experience the toxicity to understand when someone is healthy, right? I don't know if any of that makes sense, but it just came out. Ryan, how manifest finances and I didn't get a new career or job yet? Oh, how can I? How can I manifest finances and I didn't get a new career yet? I'm confused by that question. Okay, checking my battery percentage. I'll stay on here for another 10 or so minutes. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and post them. I've been on here for 2 hours. So 10 more minutes. If you have questions, post them. Otherwise, you can catch me the next time that I'm live. And I do post on my community tab when I'm live. So if you are not subscribed to me yet, subscribe so you can get my community posts. Wasn't expecting this live to resonate so profoundly on a Wednesday after a 12-hour shift. Lars, should I forgive her? Yes. Yes. Because, and I'm going to say this very gently, okay? Because your outward reality is only a reflection of you. It's who you were being at the time, and that's okay. Right? You wanted to experience that as the God of your reality to see a contrast. Okay? You wanted to experience that. Whether you consciously wanted to or not, right? God, source, universe, whatever it is, became you to experience that. So that way you can know the contrast. Forgive yourself and forgive her, because holding on to resentment, right, does nothing against her. It's only doing stuff to you. Holding on to that is keeping you stuck as the identity that has been through this. And there's nothing wrong with being an identity that has gone through trauma. I myself have been through every type of trauma you could list off. I've gone to multiple different therapists, and every type of trauma someone can experience, I've experienced every single one. Could I revise that? Yes. Do I choose to? No. Why? Because it makes me a better coach. It helps me to know what you have experienced. Now, can I know what it's like as a male to go through R word? No, I cannot, because I am a female. However, I can relate to going through that as a female. And I can hold space with knowing that I may not know 100% on how you feel, but I can relate at some point. And I can be the person that holds that space so that you can see the contrast. Okay, Trisha, will he contact you? I don't know. You tell me. Will he contact you? It's your reality. Will he? I don't know. That's on you. Kevo, how can I manifest friends? My friend group has been busy and I feel lonely sometimes. I've been doing stuff alone. I want to meet people to hang out with. Be the identity that is magnetic. Change who you are being that experiences all types of friendships and all types of connections, right? Get out there. Why are you doing stuff alone? Get out there. Go to events. Go do things. Right? Who says you can't do the things with yourself? So let's say you want to go to a concert. Go to the concert. You might meet someone that also enjoys that type of music, and then you become friends. Right? Let's say you like doing, you like shooting pool. Go to a pool hall. Shoot some pool. Go meet people there. Whatever it is you like to do, go do it. Lars, so she's effed up because of me. No, it's not because of you. She is you. Everything in your reality is you, including me. I showed up in your reality for a reason, because you're ready for it. Okay? I am just you reflected out. Everything in your reality is you reflected out, including JJC. He is just you reflected out in your perspective of reality. So she is just you. And it's okay that she effed up, right? It's okay that those experiences happened. Because without that experience, how can you know what type of person you do want? Do you know how many people are born into money and then they never know what it's like to not have money until they lose it all? Right? You can't know what it's like to have a healthy, joyous, amazing relationship unless you've had one that's not. This is the same reason why someone could be married for 20, 30, whatever years and take their person for granted and step out of their marriage. And people always ask, why would they do that? They had this, they had that. Because they don't know the contrast. Right? They thought the grass was greener on the other side. They didn't know the contrast. That's all. Ryan, can I manifest a certain amount of financial income without a job before I become employed? Yeah, absolutely. Imagine yourself that now. If you were already in the job of your dreams, already making the money that you wish to make, what would you be doing right now? How would you be feeling? How would you be acting? Be that person now. Be the person that your inbox on LinkedIn is just blowing up with recruiters wanting to hire you. Your emails are being blown up by offer letters from different companies that want to hire you. How would that make you feel? How would you be acting right now if that was your reality? Guardian, narcissistic person really cannot fall in love. If you think that, then that's true. If you believe that a narcissistic person cannot fall in love, then therefore they can't fall in love. If you believe that they can, then they can. It's all a perception. Let me give you an example about perception. Okay? In 2020, when everyone was freaking out about the virus, right? I wasn't. I paid it no mind. Right? I didn't get the jab. I have not had the virus. In what now, 5 years? I have not had it. I know people that have. I've been around people that have. I have not had it. Perception. Right? I knew I'm healthy. I knew that my immune system is amazing. I knew that this thing is not going to affect me, therefore it did not. Just like the economy did not affect me because I chose to be the person that it doesn't affect. Right? Back in 2008, I'm going to age myself. I ran multiple businesses back in before 2008. I lost everything in 2008. I was almost homeless again in 2008. Because of who I was being at the time. Because I allowed the outside circumstances to dictate who I was. You see the difference and the contrast? Lars, I'm so glad I got vaccinated. I got so freaking sick when I got COVID. Glad I had some sort of protection. Great. If that's what you wanted to do, great. You see, it's all about perception. It's all about what you believe. If you believe the vaccine protects you, great, it does. If you believe you don't need it, you don't need it. I haven't had a flu shot in, see, I have to think now, almost 2 decades. I also have not had the flu in 2 decades. Last time I had it was when I got the shot. Okay? When the swine flu was out, at the time, I was on a military base with my ex-husband who was military, and he was forced to get the H1N1 vaccine. I refused it. He got sick. I did not. So therefore, when the recent virus came out, I decided not to get it. Therefore, I did not get it because that is my assumption, that is my experience, that is who I am being. But there's nothing wrong. If you feel like you needed it and you got it, great. Cool guy and dad, how old were you in 2008? To be disclosed. I have a 20-year-old son. Does that answer your question? My son is in the other room too. I have a 20-year-old son. So yes, I was an adult in 2008. Ryan, I would feel happy and worry and stress-free. Perfect. Be that now. Yeah, I was an adult in 2008. I was born in the 80s. Does that help you? I'm not going to say when, but I was born in the 80s. And And see what I mean, guys? Like, my assumption is that I look much younger than I am. Cool guy and dad just reflected that back to me. Why? Because I am the person that doesn't age. I am the person that knows I look and feel. It's not just looks, it's feeling as well. Much younger than I am. I don't have joint pain. I don't have back pain. When I go out dancing, I can dance around circles, literally circles around people in their 20s. All based on who I'm being and all based on my perception and my assumptions. That is the basis for manifestation. Who you are being, your assumptions, your beliefs, how you perceive others, but more importantly, how you believe that they perceive you. This is why I have quote unquote high value men in their 20s coming up to me, because my assumption is that I look a lot younger. My assumption is that I look a certain way, and therefore these high quality men, right? High value men, whatever you want to say, approach me all the time. Until I'm like, no, you're close to my son's age. I'm good. Lars, after the breakup, I rebounded with a woman at 44. She didn't look a day over 25. I'm in my late 20s. See? Age it doesn't matter. Does not matter. Like many people know, I have freaking CEOs, business owners, surgeons, lawyers of anywhere between like 25 to mid 30s hitting me up all the time. All the time. And these are not unattractive men. These are very attractive men that are very fit, very everything else. None of that stuff matters. And this even happened when I was obese. This is why when people say they need to be fit to attract someone, no, you don't. No, you don't. How many overweight people do you know can go in a room and they just light up the room? Right? They just light up. They're such an amazing person. That's magnetic. Right? How many people do you know? It could be anything. And the other thing that I get asked is, do you use Botox or filler? No. I wouldn't be able to move my face like that if I did. No. Never had Botox, never had filler. I did have breast surgery almost 8 years ago to fix a deformity. That's the only thing I've had. And that was before I knew that manifestation could change your physical body. I still don't regret it though. I wouldn't change a thing. But alright guys, I'm about to get off of here. I've been on here over 2 hours. So I will take one more question if somebody has a question. And then I'm going to get off of here. I'll take one more question aside from cool guy and dads. Cool guy and dad. I'll answer your question, but also if anybody else has another question for manifestation, law of assumption, I will answer that one, and then I'm going to get off of here. All right, cool guy and dad, is this your business now? This is one of them. I have 3 businesses. This is not my main source of income. Does that answer that question? And like I said, if anybody else has another question, I will answer one more, and then I am off of here. Okay, Elvin, how do you lessen importance on something that feels like do or die? Um, so without context, it's a little bit harder for me to answer that question. So the only thing that I can do is compare it to the situation where I was almost homeless the second time. So I was homeless before and I went from homeless to where I am now. Then back in '08, I was almost homeless again. Okay, because I lost everything. And the place I was staying at, I was staying with family. I wasn't supposed to be there. It was government housing. I wasn't supposed to be there. And I was discovered there with my son, and the like property manager, whatever, said technically I could kick everybody out right now, but she's got 7 days to get out of here. Everyone else freaked out, right? That situation was not really do or die, but like there was a time crunch, right? I had 7 days. I could have focused on my circumstances of 7 days, but I didn't. Everyone else was freaking out. I was calm. I was like, it doesn't matter. It's going to work out. Everything's going to work out. Right? Did I know how? No. Did I know when? No. I just knew it was going to work out. The inner knowing, right? That's what I preach all over my channel is inner knowing. I just knew it was going to work out. So, I, at the time, like I said, lost everything, was cleaning to get income. I went to a client because she called me and said that she needed me to clean out a 3-bedroom apartment for a move out, right? She had a bunch of properties. I went to go do the clean out, and I brought a family member with me because it was a 2-person job. It was bad. And we were both cleaning it, and we were both talking. I didn't realize my client walked into the apartment as we were talking. And I was talking with my family member about the situation. And so my client said, wait a minute, you need a place to stay? And I said, yeah. And she said, well, I was about to come in here to ask you if you could also clean out this 1 bedroom that I just had to evict somebody. It's trashed. She said, if you clean it out, it's yours. And your deposit is covered and your first month of rent is covered. This is what your rent will be after if you can take over the lease. That happened 2 to 3 days after I was almost homeless. 2 to 3 days after. I cleaned it out that day and then I moved in the next day. So 4 days from when I was told I had 7 days. Did I know that my client was going to have something available for me? No. Did I know that she was going to walk in at that very moment that I was talking about my situation? No. But it happened. Right? You do not know how things can unfold. The how and when is not up to you. It's just up to you to be the person that already has what you want. I said it's going to work out no matter what. Right? And I have videos on my channel about dealing with impossible situations and about embracing the no matter what, if you want to watch those. Okay. Elvin, dealing with money and BS that could possibly involve a court and can be resolved without, but I don't want it to be a bigger issue than it needs to be. Perfect, so then it's not. Everything is resolved right now. Everything is working out right now. Everything is working out right now. And see, Ryan, exactly, like someone else asked this question and I answered it and it helped you. That's why I like this, because multiple people can watch it and get the answers. I have videos on my channel about all this. So if you guys watch my videos, it's all there. It's not anything that I hide. Okay? But I'm about to get off of here. I've been on here now for 2 hours and 25 minutes. So, I go live every now and then, primarily once a week. I usually go live on Saturday, but I decided to come live today. I announce on my community posts when I go live. Okay? So if you subscribe, you'll get my community posts and see when I'm next going live. I also, when I start my lives, answer questions that are paid for first. If you go to my Stan store, it's like $22. You can submit a question. It can be anonymous. It can be whatever. If you don't want to post the question here, if you want to be anonymous, you can use that. If you can't make the live and you want me to answer it, you could do that and you can watch the replay. That's what it's there for. Okay? But if not, I answer the questions when people are here. Just show up and I will answer your question after I get through the paid questions first. But I'm going to get off of here. I need to go unwind, and I'm going to be recording and posting a lot more content, guys. If you have suggestions for videos that you would like me to do, you can always comment those, but I do have a long list that I'm going through, so just be patient with me. And if it's something that I've already covered, I'll direct you to that video. Or if it's something that's simply answered and I don't need to do a whole video on it, I'll simply answer your comment. I do respond to comments, guys. But I am getting off of here. And I already know, it's an inner knowing that no matter when you guys are watching me, day or night, you're about to have the best day or night of your life. You've already made a major shift. I already know it. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.